Ladies and gentlemen, it appears it's time. Time for agenda. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, do it too. Have it on me and keep it on me at all times. Hey, another fun fact. After so long, it is here, the U20 World Cup. I can't believe it's finally here. It's time for my agenda lock. But another fun fact. Yeah! You know what time it is. Come on now. Come on now. Speak every week. Where the U20 World Cup? All the curl. All the curl. All the curl up. All the curl. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But I will admit, I have to be completely real with you. I didn't see anything. But unfortunately, when the spoilers dropped, I have two things confirmed. I have two jokers, let's call them, confirmed to be benchwarmers. And if that is true, if what I heard is true, I've already thought of reasons for why. But don't mind me if my agenda seems a little bit stronger, a little bit more potent once we get to who's confirmed, who's not confirmed to be the starting 11. But I have an inkling, considering who's benched. The two I've heard benched kind of already confirmed the rest of the setup for me, or at least in terms of like the frontline setup. And I think the backline setup was also kind of confirmed. The only question is the mid. That really is the only question for your boy. But let's not waste any more time. Let's hop right into chapter 300. We're really dropping this title this early? Not the start of, not the beginning of. No, we're just dropping U20 World Cup. Chapter 312. On my toes. They're curled. Let's see. Look at who's lacing up right now. Look at who's lacing up. Oh, he's so clean with it. Oh, he's so clean with it. Well, allow me to lock in. Oh, and thank you for everyone confirming that apparently the anime is just wrong. It's Isagi Yoichi. It's not Isagi Yoichi. I'm glad. And I'm glad, even if it wasn't that, a lot of y'all were like, pencil, we do not care. However, I did read the comments, and I apologize profusely. I did make sure to remember this. In fact, literally before other reviews, they'd say, remember this when you finally get to the Blue Lock review. It is not Yuki Maya. It is Yukimiya. In fact, hold on. Because it's such a big thing, I know I'm saying it's not Maya. It is Mia. But I'm not sure if I'm saying Yuki right. I think that is like the only way to say Yuki, but hold on. In fact, I have a Googler right here with me. We're going to quickly run to the last review. But in terms of name pronunciation, I always apologize for that. Your boy, I do my best. I just be sight reading stuff. I don't really watch the animes of like any of the stuff I review, hilariously enough. Despite calling myself an anime manga channel, I really am just like a manga man, and thusly I don't have any context for how these names are supposed to be said. But I always appreciate when you all get in the comments and be like, hey, Pencil Man, I know you're doing your best, but your best ain't enough. Here's how you actually pronounce it. So let me scurry. Hold on, we gotta go visibility. We gotta go not private, public. To about a week ago. Oh wait, not even a week ago. Okay. Wait. Yo, and shout out to the people who are realizing that, hey, YouTube's never going to push your boy. It's just, like, at least not for this channel. I'm planning other stuff, but at least not for this channel. You're not being pushed. If you want to see a review, you may just have to Google your boy. You may just have to look it up directly. If it's that time of the week, you're like, hey, how come Pencilman hasn't posted this review? There's a 99.9% chance that either A, I haven't posted it, or B, I posted it, but you just didn't get notified. Even if you hit the notification bell, it's really rough. Let's see. Yukimiya. So yeah, it is Yukimiya. Okay, so that's the first one. There was another one. There's another one that confirmed it is Yukimiya, not Yukimaya. Okay, I only saw the one comment, but Yukimiya, not Yukimaya. I'm sorry, your boy's wrong with that. Yukimiya. I'll do my best to remember that. Now I've repeated it to myself so many times, it will probably consistently say Yukimiya, but there you go. There's the other name pronunciation thing, but let's actually see what Isagi Yoichi has to say. Focus on this fight. I'm a machine that lives for goals. No. Oh, okay. I was immediately about to comment on that, but I'm glad I actually read the bottom text there. I still don't think, and I know other people think like this too, but I still don't think that the conclusion that Isagi came to at the end of the New Aegis League, I don't think that it's right. And I don't think it's his original ego. I don't think it's anything. I think it's a concession he had to make for that scenario. And I get why he's making it, because it seems so similar to what Noah believes, at least in concept upon observation. But I think something in the U20 World Cup is going to teach Isagi, whoa, wait a minute. being a machine that lives solely for goals, even if it is plausible, even if it is reasonable, even if it is quote unquote the right path based on what the previous guy did, this still isn't the right way. This still isn't true to me. And I think that's what the U20 arc is going to be about. But looks like he may have already realized at least a bit of this. No. I'm a machine that'll make Japan the best in the world. And see, yeah, I don't think... Well, this is a fine basis for him to start at. And I do kind of, like... Funnily enough, I've seen a big split, especially with last chapter, like, reaffirming. I've seen a big split on whether or not Japan will win the U20 World Cup or not. Before, I and many others were kind of like, they probably are going to have to lose. Probably. Something is going to happen. But there are two things that have, like, caused a split and even caused me to waver back and forth more and more. And it's very specifically, one, the idea that Kaneshiro-sensei out of narrative and characters in narrative are like, hey, Isagi, you're kind of like a bad dude. Like you're really you one of them. You one of them, whether you like it or not. And this has just like been repeated numerous times as early as Yukimiya back in the during the Mankind game, being like, you're just like Kaiser, and we know Kaiser was the person who just used people. And then of course we have Isagi recently in the last chapter going band for band with Karasu over Hiyori, which shout out to all the opposite of that. I bet to respond to more of those, but we all get on Isagi and Karasu's case for trying to get up in Hiyori's guts. Hilarious. But with that being the case, there was that, and there are many instances in between, like, or you can overall go through even way back to the start of the manga. If you remember, the main victim that everyone thinks is going to be the victim of Isagi is Chihiri, and what Isagi initially did, he literally grabbed Chihiri by the shoulder and said, move if you're not going to be useful. And he also made Chihiri move to be useful. So I could see now this being a big factor for why Japan wins, but at the cost of something major that will shift Isagi's entire image. And two, Ego being fired if they don't win. I kind of wish that stipulation wasn't there, because there's no way Ego's going to be fired, right? Like, actually, and the reason I'm so flipping back and forth on it rather than just being hardline, okay, they kind of have to win now, is what comes after U20 World Cup. Is it a club arc, or is it real U20? That's the big meaty flipping debate right now. Whether or not we're actually going to get a club arc, considering that technically is like a Chekhov Spagooter. It's been put up on the wall, the idea that they have all these offers, all these values, and obviously none of our cast is like actually 20, considering they're all in the U20, meaning we could possibly get a time skip into a club arc, into another time skip into actual Japan U20, meaning Ego could get fired, there could be something that happens off screen, then Ego gets rehired, and then we lead into actual World Cup. Or if we go straight into World Cup, then Ego just can't be fired, so they have to win both. Either is fine. I would really like to see an Isagi fall from Grace Arc, though. Like, I really like to see that. But we can still get an Isagi fall from Grace Arc if he does something vile at the end of the U20. Like sacrificing Chigiri, like sacrificing Yukimiya. Like, if Yukimiya ends up blind by the end of the arc because Isagi pushes him too hard, I mean, it's kind of cinema. I don't want Chigiri to break his leg, though. Like, that is the Chekhov Spagooter. That is, like, the original. I will admit, that is like the original Chekhov Spagooter. And everyone's brought up the most perfect scenario, too. It's Chihiri being forced to defend Loki, right? I can literally see it now in, like, the finals, whether it be the finals or because I don't think it'll happen in the group stage. I think in the group stage is way too early. I don't think it's going to happen in the third game of the U20 World Cup for Japan. But I could very easily see a scenario where after they lose to France in the opener, right? They lose to France here in the group stage. The one thing that Isagi's focused on throughout the entire rest of the arc is figuring out a way to beat Loki, figuring out a way to lock down Loki, because Loki will presumably be the main reason why France will, if not blow Blue Lock's back out, end up make the game go to like a 7-6, where Loki scored a hat trick and there are other France people that Loki facilitates that allows them to all go crazy with Charles and stuff like that, and they manage to barely beat Japan or blow Japan out. And then Isagi's whole thing is like, we gotta figure out a way to lock down Loki. We gotta figure out a way to lock down Loki. And he's like, Chihiri, sacrifice your soul for me, gang. Yukimiya, sacrifice your soul for me, gang. He goes to my son, Corona, sacrifice your soul for me, gang. He spends like all the speedsters after Loki just to slow him down slightly. And then Chihiri's getting tired, you know? Keeping up with Loki, the fastest man alive, that's crazy. And he's like, keep running. I don't care what it takes, keep running. And then they win, but then Chihiri's leg snaps and he's cooked and he can't play ever again. That's the kind of scenario I've been seeing. And it's not, and the thing that I'm mad about is that it's not even like crazy. I could see that happening. I could show you like the vision is so clear. It's almost 2020. Almost like U20. Okay, I'm sorry. But legitimately, I don't want it though. Because I don't want Chigiri's leg to break. Because I want Chigiri to be relevant for the long term. we do have a lot of backup speedsters. Zantetsu could be included well. Like, Yukimiya, Corona, Chigiri, and Zantetsu. They could all be used to just lock down Loki if it need be. But that's the thing. I could see it happening, and that could lead to an Isagi Fall from Grace arc where it's not that he lost. In fact, he won. But he won by becoming a machine, disregarding other people's humanity, and very specifically making what many would consider a necessary choice in terms of, like, the high-level players being like, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do to win. But the whole world would be like, dude, you're a monster. You're an animal. To quote Ren, you're a demon king. Like I could see that happening. And that would technically be the best of both worlds. We win U20 Japan, and we can go straight into the World Cup. But then Isagi sort of needs to, like, pull a Goku in the Tournament of Power and prove that he's not a villain. Or double down. Either way. But let's see. Oh, all that to say, I still think the idea that Isagi is a machine with no individuality and very specifically exists to fulfill a certain ideal and dream, I think that's wrong. And the U20 World Cup is going to teach him that. How, though? Presumably, the basis, like, I want to glaze Kaiser to the moon and back, and I do think Kaiser is going to be a major antagonist. I think we will have a proper rematch against Germany sometime during the actual elimination stage. But I feel like we are, like, Loki kind of has to be right. I mean, maybe not, but I feel like Loki, I mean, I've seen a lot of people say Germany may actually beat France, right? And, like, it may be a twist, and that could be cool. But especially considering where Loki's positioned narratively, I think he'd be cool if he ended up being a subsect to Noah when they actually have to fight Noah in the real World Cup. But I think it'd be more interesting if Loki had a proper revenge story because he lost. But then again, like, you could have a more, I don't know. We'll see. Now then, the opening match of the U20 World Cup is finally here. Time to introduce Japan's starting lineup. Okay, so this is this. Yeah, joint man. I'm still, like, going back and forth. I haven't talked with my friends about this too. Like, do you, and this is the question I'll extend to y'all. Do you want Japan to win? They're like three pathways. Either Japan loses the U20 World Cup entirely, and then that's just one pathway. Japan wins the U20 World Cup, but no one gets injured. But it's, like, an extremely close, high-level, like, 8-7 match. And, like, it goes absolutely crazy for both sides. But Japan barely manages to squeeze out a win with an Isagi final goal, presumably. Or 3, Japan wins, but at the cost of somebody. Right? Like, someone's gone permanently. Like we will never see that character again. Would you like that? Honestly, as much as I don't want it to sacrifice Shigiri, or really anybody. Okay, that's a lie. Sacrifice some character. But it's just, as much as I don't want to sacrifice Shigiri, I'm low-key leaning towards the third one, all because I'm, like many others, am not sure if we're actually going to get a club arc. That would require Blue Lock being, like, 1,000 chapters, depending on the pacing of the U20. If it's anything similar to the pacing of the New Aegis League, it has to be, like, 1,000 chapters, or, like, near it. Like, it has to be in the 900s, which I'm down with. But as many others pointed out, maybe Nomura and Kaneshiro Sensei are down with that. We'll see. Oh, there's Buratsuta. Let's see. I'm getting the names better. I got Buratsuta and I got Yukimaya. But I always have to say Buratsuta with, like, a really hard emphasis on the Burat. Like, they almost saying Burat. But it's Buratsuta. Because I'm so used to saying Burasata. But it's Buratsuta. Let's see. The first goalkeeper, Gin Gagamaru. Yeah, like who else was good? Like, he was kind of a lock. Like, there's no way it was gonna be anybody else. And obviously, what about Fukaku, man? Like, obviously he's gonna have a moment, but I do wonder when it will be, right? Like, when will Fukaku have to sub in to prove himself? I don't think it's gonna be in these. I don't really. Unless Gagamaru does something crazy during France and, like, he can't play, I don't really see it happening in the group stage. I can only see it happening in elimination matches when these matches are getting really intense and really close and Gagamaru's getting super fatigued. Like, I don't think we're going to see Fukaku for a while. But who knows? Maybe I'll be wrong. Whoa, fireworks! This production is sick! We're counting on you, defense god! Gagamaru summer! This is just about the amount of glaze that Gagamaru gets in the fandom. I, like many others, have yet to see, like, real Gagamaru hate. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I, in fact, think it's a great thing. I think Gagamaru's goated. But it is so rare to find a character that the entire fandom is like, yeah. That's our guy. That's our boy. Like, almost, there's at least a subsect of every single fandom I've seen with, especially a character, even on the level of Gagamaru's narrative importance, which I say is relatively high. He is the one goalkeeper that's not Fukaku. But considering that, like, he is up there in terms of, hold on. I'm trying, my body's saying cough, but I don't want to cough again, but I don't want to mute the mic because it always sounds weird. But in terms of characters of importance and screen time level that Kagamaru has had, typically there's at least a subset of people who don't like the character across all fandoms. Kagamaru, he's like the only, like I say, the only one to escape that. I can think of characters from Frieren, major characters that aren't liked in Frieren. I can think of, and I only have Frieren on the mind because apparently a new chapter came out and the hiatus is over. Oh, my toes are coughing. You know Frieren reviews are coming back. I know I dropped some things from this channel, but don't worry. For all those wondering where Dandadan and Gachikuta and, what's the main two? What else am I missing? I know I'm missing a couple. And and Shinobi Undercover. Like, those reviews, they'll be back, just not here. Because I need to post one time a day here. I will go J-Lane 10. But I'll be a separate time. But don't worry, they will be back for those who do enjoy my reviews of stuff like that. I'm still caught up. I'm still reading them. I just can't do it since I'm only posting one time a day over here. But with it being the case, in almost every single manga out there are some characters who have some haters. Gagamaru's escaped that entirely. I've yet to see a single Gagamaru. I've only seen levels of Gagamaru glaze. That's the only difference. Like, I've seen everyone at least likes the guy, but there are some people who praise the guy as like a literal lord or god. Me personally, I like him. I think his lore is epic. I like the fact that he fights bears. That's my thing. Where I'm like, there's the base level of glaze. I'm like right here. I'm not to the level of some Gagamaru glazers. Let's see. Next, the team's 3 center backs. Oh. Yeah, I mean, like, who else was it gonna be? This is why I said, like, this 3 was kind of a lock. The only person I could ever see replacing is, like, maybe Rayo? Outside of that, I have no idea who else the center backs would be. But interesting, they're all center backs. See, that goes to show you I know nothing about soccer, because I thought there would only be, like, 2. Like, well, I guess you have a right back and a left back. So is it like one? So if we have a right back and a left back, then it's 1, 2, 3, 5. So it's 5, then 6 for Gagamaru. So I'm guessing we're only doing 2 strikers, and that explains why the characters who I know are on the bench are on the bench. It's because I'm guessing we only have 2 strikers. Because then that would make sense, because we would have 6 in the right back, center back, and then Kagamaru, meaning 7, then 2 strikers, and only 2 midfielders, though. Actually, that's kind of interesting. Only 2 midfielders? Who would they be? I mean, I guess Hiyori has to be one of them, because we need a bootleg side. And Karasu, maybe? Karasu? I'm assuming, as a starter. Like, once again, I think Rayo is kind of the guy you sub in. Like, you don't really open with Rayo, because you just have, like, the originals, so I work with the copy, until you absolutely need the copy. But let's see. Next, the team's 3 center backs. The captain. Oh, so he is captain. Okay, so everyone did call it. When people saw Aiku just studying up and not like really doing any training over the 2-week training period, a lot of people just called, oh, he's learning like tactics and communication so he can be captain. But honestly, with how much Isagi had become sort of like the face of Blue Lock during the new Aegis League, and especially at the end of the U20 match itself, I really thought he was going to end up being captain. I really thought it. I mean, Aiku, don't get me wrong, Aiku's a fantastic pick for it. And in fact, we saw some of his captainly leadership skills last chapter. So it does make perfect sense that he's a captain. And he was the captain of the U20 team, so keeping him consistent, I guess, is good for branding, and also he is kind of implied to be the oldest. Like, I don't think anyone's actually older than Aiku. And captain roles simply do go to, like, the older members of the team, so Olivia Aiku being the captain. All right, interesting. The magnificent back with long limbs and long hair, Jubei Aryu. I still give Aryu so much credit with playing with that much hair. Now, notably, if you couldn't tell, your boy's hair has never been that long. Though I do look back at some like, how am I lagging if I'm connected to USB? Give me 1 second. How you guys doing? You mind being lost in darkness with me? Well, don't worry. I'm here to welcome you back to the light. But with it being the case, I give credit because obviously I've never had super long hair. I looked back at some of my old videos and my hair was actually very, very high. In fact, it's getting a little bit high right now. I'm not gonna buzz it, but like, I may have to go a little bit lower. And yo, question for y'all. Y'all think the beard's too long? I was told the beard's getting a little bit long. I don't think it's really that long though. Like for reference, like my chin, hold on, let me see. My chin is like right here. Like the beard only looks long because it's full. Finally, after so long, the beard is full all the way throughout. But it's not actually that long, like lengthwise. Like it's about like this long. It's like what? Maybe like an inch and some change. I don't think that's that long for a beard. I've seen long beards before. I don't think I got a long beard. But essentially, long hair. I didn't really like it when I had super long hair because it was annoying to comb, and like whenever I tried to style it would be a whole lot. And even this hair is like a little bit annoying in length, but I like it just because I feel like it frames the face better. But are you to not only just have that much hair, but to play with that much hair and not wrap it up at all? At least we've seen like characters like Chigiri, they'll like put it up in something. But are you? Nah, gee, they just be styling and wilding, which is very impressive. And the defensive line's brain, Iki Nico. Oh, so it is Oh no, the Iki has 2Ks. I always, for some reason in my head, Nico always had 2Ks as well, but no, it's just his brain. Mind functioning real quick. What else was I saying? It's just his last name, his surname that has 2 eyes. The name Nico only has 1. Or I said 2. No, duh, it has 2 eyes. It's literally Iki. 2 Ks. Nico only has 1 K in his name, his first name. But let's see. Interesting that they call him the defensive line's brain. I guess he is like the most thinker of the thinkers here. Because I say Aiku is definitely more instinctual. In terms of brain and how much that factors into their playstyle, I'd actually say these two are kind of relative. But then again, Nico did unlock Metavision first. Aiku figured it out, piggybacking it off of him. Though originally, you could actually argue that Aiku was the original Metavision user. Why did that come out like that? You could definitely argue Aiku was like the original Metavision user before even Nico. And really everyone, right? Because if you go back to the U20 stuff. But then again, we've seen the Metavision pattern in Isagi's eyes even before that. So I don't know, it's debatable. But I guess Nico makes sense. Nico makes sense as the defensive brain. Especially considering he's definitely not the defensive stat man. He's still like, what, 15? And maybe... How heavy you think Nico is? I got him like a $140 at his heaviest. Soaking wet. I do not think that man has the build. Let's see. Wait, oh yeah. But wait, Bochacho, shouldn't you be participating in the selection right now? Well, I guess maybe Budetsuta hasn't started the selection yet because he wants the first match to go on. And yeah, you don't want rival competition. So I'm assuming in between the matches when the selection will start. So maybe he's here to get into the selection. Let's see. Next, the 2 wingbacks. Okay, so wingbacks. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to look up how like it's gonna look on a field sheet. Let's see. Tickets, please. Dang, it's starting already? Yeah, dog. That's why you should pull. Oh, but dog, it don't matter that it's starting already. She's excited to be here with you, big dog. Look at how she's looking at you. Get you a girl who look at you like this when she at the biggest match of the year, or like the opening of the biggest match of the year. She's so happy to be there with happy for you, my boy. I ain't never gonna see you again in this manga, my boy, but you look good. You look good. Let's see. Now he's so locked in. He's like, I don't care. I need to lock in. I need to get my spot back. Let's see. I'm not a member of Blue Lock anymore. I betrayed the philosophy of live for your own goals, then lost and dropped out, and now I'm here. Wait, what? Wait. I was just about to get into Nagi characterization, Nagi character breakdown. What do you mean he always a left? Where's what? Okay, on right wing back. Then again, do I dare just look up what is? I'll look it up after the review. I could have sworn. I mean, our backs midfielders? I always think like backs. It's just considering we have center backs. Backs implies like the back line, right? I get having Chigiri in the back. I think it's a very similar role he played before. But why on earth do we have Iguri? Like, he's a midfielder. What is he doing? I mean, I guess he had some defensive plays, but why would you not have that man facilitate up front? Who are the midfielders then? Huh? Okay, Ego, I'll let you cook. Let's see. But I do like how Nagi, even though he's clearly, not on the pitch right now. Oh, actually, I like that even more. Since he's not relevant anymore, since he's not a member of Blue Lock, no one even cares that he's here. Like, obviously, Nagi's pretty distinct looking, so they probably are like, oh, it's that kid who lost. And they just kept it pushing. I love that. And I do like how Isagi or Nagi is currently, like, he's fully understood his place. Well, that means he may be trying to steal one back. That does lead to a question, though, that didn't really click with me in last review, considering it was so focused on, like, Kira and the randoms, right? Like, while I would readily admit, and I did readily admit in last review, there's absolutely no way that Ego's not going to use Sei, even if he comes from the Budetsuta 3, because, like, it's Sei. Let's not play these games. He's going to use Japan's one new Gen 111 member when he played those games. But Kira very likely could literally be benched for the entire match, the entire league. But the real question is, how is Nagi getting on the pitch, bro? Unless somebody breaks their leg. I have no idea. Even if Nagi were to come back for the Budetsuta 3, I don't think that's something. The only way I could see Ego even letting him play is being like, what did he tell you to get here? And Nagi would literally be honest and be like, I'm here to destroy you. Anything and everything for the sake of my dream. I could see Ego being like, oh. he may give him a shout out for that. If he's like, really? You went against those memories. After all I did for you. Just so you could get a chance to strike back at me. Well, my apologies, Nagi Sessor. I wasn't familiar with your game. Get on the pitch! But I don't... Once again, I'm not sure if Ego would respect something like that. Or if he'd be like, tough nuggies, bro. I said I wasn't going to use you, and I'm still not going to use you. So I'm assuming it's going to have to be a slight mix of Ego respect for Nagi being able to clap back at all, depending on if he is clapping back, considering he's here. I'm assuming he is. And also, something is going to happen where Nagi needs to be on the pitch. Like, I'm not saying we break 3 characters' legs, and then... I mean... We could. No, I'm kidding. But I'm not saying we break 3 characters' legs to get Nagi on the pitch. And even then, 3 characters is not enough. We have to break, like... Well, it's a full team of 26. 11 people can be on the pitch at once. We have to break 15 people or 14 people's legs to get Nagi on the pitch. But still, somehow, that's the... It's kind of like Nagi returning in the first place. We know it's going to happen. The question is the how. So we have the how, the Buddhatsuta 3, but how is Nagi getting his behind on the pitch? Let's see. On right back, the divinely fast Panther, Hiyomi Chigiri. I heard people saying Chigiri cut his hair. Is it cut? I guess it isn't, but I don't think his hair was ever as long as Aryu. I think this is his normal length. Interesting, he didn't put it up. I could have sworn he would have put it up. Let's see. And the left back, the cool-headed lefty artist, Yo Hiyori. This is still, who did he swap in for in the U20 match? Who did he swap in for? Didn't he swap in for Otoya? Was it Otoya midfielder? Am I tweaking? Maybe he was a back. I really don't remember the formation. But I feel like it's weird having Hiyori. Like, I would definitely want Hiyori as a facilitator. Oh, I guess you can still facilitate as a back. But it doesn't click as much to me. When I think of back, I'm thinking like the defensive line. I feel like not using Hiyori on offense is kind of insane. Like, I'm like the midfielders 5, 6, 2, 2. I mean, we can still have 3 midfielders. So we have 3 midfielders. If we're gonna have a 2-striker lead core, which I think we are, based on who I know is on the bench. With 5, 6, 2, and 2, 3. I'm guessing like Karasu. Maybe Rayo is starting. Cause like who if Hiyori's not a midfielder, who am I putting in midfield? Karasu. Karasu's literally the only one coming to mind, bro. Well, maybe Bachura. Maybe Bachura's a midfielder, offensive midfielder. I can see that. And I don't know. Maybe Yukimiya? I don't know. We'll see. I shouldn't okay, Nagi. I shouldn't try to go back. I'll go grasp something new. Yes, Nagi. Yes. Look at him hitting the dash. Very impressive for a guy his size. I don't know about y'all. I'm a big dude, like, for reference. 6... I'm either, like, it's hot debate on how tall I am in my own family. Either I'm 6 foot flat, which is like the low end ability. I'm either 6'1", or I'm like 6'1" and some change, possibly 6'2", because I have family members who are 6'1", but I'm noticeably like visibly taller than them. They are bald though, and I do have a hair, but clearly, like I said, not much hair. Like this is nowhere near an inch, but I am like visibly taller than them head to head. So I may be like 6'2". I don't know. I'm a big guy. And I'm also like 230 pounds. I think today I weighed in like 226. So I'm a big dude. Thusly, I can't really do the dash man go fast through crowds. But we know Nagi's like 6'4". And he at least weigh $180, $190, undeniably. So you know that man being able to hit the dash throughout an entire crowd, that's some precision right there. Let's see. I'll go grasp something new. I lost. Uh-oh. This officer's like, whoa, chill. I was like, even if it's lame or weird or painful, after seeing that side of me, I'm finally trying to understand myself. That hits. That hits. And you know what? It's true. I feel like you only truly begin to understand who you are when you've lost everything that once defined you. I always think of it like, as a person who heavily defined himself by success academically, right? Because that's kind of all I knew. I was like, well, if I do good in school, everyone says good. So I just do good in school. But then I graduated. I was like, oh no. And obviously, you do good in job. People say good job. You may get raised, you may do things, you may get accolades. But like it became a lot more freeform. It's kind of like going from linear level pathing to open world. Technically, the objectives are the same. You want to win as much as you can, and then stack your paper. Just as you, back in the linear levels, you want to win as much as you can and stack your grades. And any other side accolades you can get with that. But it is more freeform, and that's really where I picked up stuff like content creation and stuff like that, and changing just my general lifestyle and how I viewed life. So ultimately, it is once you lose everything that once defined you, and remember, Nagi had nothing, got something, then lost that something he got, so he's back to nothing, and then realized that nothing sucked. He's now fully able to realize that, whoa, wait a minute, you thought I was finished? Okay, I don't know the actual rest of that song. I could bust out a Rumble verse on the fly. Don't actually know the rest of that song. I was like, hey, you. Are you actually gonna be able to stop him though? This man is 6'2", $180. He made his body baggy. Darn, he really. Now you with the speed blitz of doing despair, and they say Blue Lock ain't got power scaling, dog. What? Let's see. I want to know the true source of this fire. But do you ever know that? Do y'all know what drives you, what fuels you, what makes you who you are? Because I honestly don't. Well, I mean, like I think I do. I like to yap. And it's kind of like been my philosophy throughout life. I like to yap. And I like people. But I don't know. I feel like if someone were to ask me, hey, Pencil Man, who are you? And I take away everything that isn't you, I could give you like a vague answer. But I'm also a person who like defines myself by my relations to others, because I think humans are such innately social creatures. Like if you were to ask me, hey, Pencil Man, describe yourself without any reference to any other being, I'd just be able to be like, I'm me, I guess. That's all. The only thing I can say is I'm determined, but even then that's relevant and relative to other people and other things. So I don't know. Do you know what is the true source of your fire? Please let me know, because I don't really know. Let's see. Hey, stop right now! Intruder, VIP floor! Yo, if y'all don't catch that, man, y'all are too full-grown, man. If y'all don't tackle that teenager, I finally figured it out. It's not like I was fired up for playing soccer itself. Okay, what is it then, Nagi? Next, the midfield. Okay, so I got Karasu. Hold on. I already issued a formal apology to Rail fans, but let me issue an even more formal apology. My apologies to Rail fans. I was not familiar with your guys' game. He's a starting midfielder. Okay. So I guess maybe with Hiyori on right back or left back. Isn't it left or right? I mean, I'm assuming he's left back because of left foot, right? But yeah, left wing back. So if with Hiyori on left back, I guess he's going to be our bootleg say still. So he's still going to be playing a similar role to the U20 match, facilitation-wise. But of course, he still has the Ren side of him, so who knows? And obviously, Sei can score too. First, the extraordinary assassin, Tabito Karasu. It's because they did their extraordinary, even though he himself considers himself ordinary. I'll admit, that's a very interesting shot of Karasu. It's a little funny, but I think it's just because of the angles. It's like a 3/4 top down angle Benamora drew here. His hair is so much more emphasized, so his face looks kind of small. Let's see. And the shapeshifting all-rounder, Ryo Mikage. Dang, bro, that's crazy. Okay, Ryo. My heart is I didn't know your game. Let's see. Ryo Mikage. I love how locked in Ryo is. Okay, but see, look at that. Shigiri and Aryu, hair out, hair down, wildin'. Ryo? With that little short hair up. Boy, Shigiri and Aryu, if you don't get that stuff up. Let's see. Ryo was the one who brought me to Blue Lock. But the fact is, everything went wrong when I tried to get fired up about something with Ryo. Oh! I guess, yeah. So midfielders are Karasu, Bachira, and Brain? Come on, Brain. Karasu, Bachira, and Ryo. Alright, I mean, that's a solid core. And if you do want to have Bachira in the starting lineup, I guess it does make sense. Because I wouldn't really put Bachira as a back, but still, Hiyori as a back is such a weird choice. Like, honestly, I'd want, and like, it's not like Hiyori's slow, but I want another speedster back there. I want someone who can get up and down the pitch. I'd want my son! Okay, I'm biased, I love Corona. But still, I'm super interested to see what kind of role Hiyori's gonna play. Because I get Shigiri as a back, because Shigiri's fast enough, they can kind of just do whatever. But for Hiyori, man, I don't know. No Yukimiya, though. No Yukimiya, because Yukimiya's not one of the core strikers, let's be real. Let's see. But the fact is, oh, and I do like that. I like that. And this is a philosophy I personally believe in. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible to get truly fired up over somebody else and their ambitions. Like, I've seen people be consumed by others' dreams in a positive way. Not just like, oh, I've seen people lose themselves to other people's dreams. It's actually kind of sad to watch. No, like, it's actually interesting to see other people be fully wrapped up and raptured in somebody else's ideals and philosophy and dreams. I actually think that's actually beautiful in a way. But I think truly for who you are as an individual, it's hard to truly dedicate yourself to someone else entirely. So you should always have your own internal fire on top of what somebody else may have in store. That's kind of always been my philosophy. Because there are people who I do hope to succeed, and I'm happy to watch them succeed and grow. But, like, they ain't me. They ain't me. I gotta succeed for me. I gotta do for me. My hopes and dreams and ambitions for somebody else ain't gonna feed me. I gotta do it for me. So, it's a rough thing, but I get it. Let's see. Next, the yellow highlight tactician. Oh, that's right. It's because his hair is always fully colored black in the manga. It's very easy to forget that Bachira does have yellow highlights in his hair. He has like a yellow undercut. Let's see. Megaru Bachira. That's why I won't keep playing soccer just to be by Ryo's side. Yes, Nagi. Yes. Yep. Okay. So it is. So it is a 2-3-5. So they're really going to have you on defense. A 2-3-5. 1, obviously, because Gagamaru is the only one goalie. But still, interesting. So Ren and Isagi. Yeah, that makes sense. I'll get to Isagi before I start spreading a little bit of agenda around. Because I've already seen the agenda talks by 2 people who I know are benched. That's why I don't want to keep playing soccer just to be by Ryo's side. And finally, the top 2 forwards. The strongest striker in Blue Lock. Ren, the Beast, Itoshi. Why am I Loki? Why am I Loki getting hype? Hold on. Let me hit a stanky leg real quick. Whoa, Ren, the Beast. We talking. What is Hank's last name? Gosh darn it, Hank from X-Men. Gosh darn, this is gonna bother me. Man, what was Hank's last name? Hank Beast. I'm not thinking Hank Pym. What's his name? Hank McCoy. See, I ruined it because I forgot his last name. But essentially, you talking that Beast? Ren the Beast? They don't even call him the. I mean, like, God Destruction would be kind of a bit too much glaze, so calling him the Beast is kind of crazy. And look at that, he don't even care. It's not that I want to go back to Blue Lock. And it's not to fight Isagi. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, but okay, Nagi. But Ren, who he looking at? He looking at the heroic demon king. Who you looking at, Ren? Who you looking at? Ooh. But it's the game hasn't started yet. How you already inebriated? Let's see. Well, I mean, the money has to be rolling in like crazy. The fire that's deeper inside me. It's his own fire, so I can't actually put an AO on that one. Let's see. Tora's voice. Huh? My ego's true identity. Finally, Blue Lock's shining savior. Woo! I'm gonna step more. New tricks on it. Backflips. Twirls. Twists. Yoichi Isagi. My heart is excitedly screaming. I'm the center of the world. Yes, Isagi. You're at the highest point you've ever been. Make sure you don't fall, my friend. But, with that being the case, you know we gotta address it. Baro and Shido are benched. That is You know what, though? I won't say it's crazy. Mainly because PXG and... Well, not necessarily just... Not really. I'd say mainly... Shido is excused by the whole entire run of PXG. Baro is kind of excused by, ironically enough, his pre-Uber's representation and role in the narrative. Because I've seen a lot of people get on Baro and Shido's case for both being benched. But we know Shido simply does not work with Ren. Ren refuses to work with Shido. Ultimately, as much as me and many others wanted PXG to fix that, and we could actually see those two work together, it just never did. Presumably, it's going to be a development that's saved for later in this arc, I'm assuming, or at least I hope. I hope those two are just never compatible, or are not just never compatible, considering I would love to see a trio, or if not a 4-man band, a quartet of Ren, Shido, and Isagi as strikers with, say, feeding them all passes. Like, that would go absolutely insane. But that's the thing about Shido. They never figured out how to work together, and obviously, just like back in the U20 match, you're going to take your strongest player, Ren, and supplement him with another strong player who can actually support him in the dual striker role. That's going to be Isagi. Obviously, Ren has a better and more healthy and more dangerous dynamic with Isagi than he does with Baro or Shido as other lead strikers. So it makes sense that they're going for that sense. Same thing with Baro in a way. Ultimately, as much as Baro's role was reaffirmed as the king, the leader, the dominant, the top, the peak, that was of his own team that was entirely built around him, but he's not the strongest. He simply is not the strongest. He's not Ren. Baro fans, cope, seethe, mauled, as much as he's not Ren. And hey, you're looking at a massive Isagi Glazer and a guy who's slowly starting to appreciate Ren more because time is passing. Like I said, I soften on everything. I start to appreciate everything more with time. But he ain't Ren. he ain't never gonna be Ren. And once again, he's gonna sort of have to be reverted to that Dark King role. We know Baro succeeds best when there's light to devour. And ultimately, if we only have 2 spots for strikers, I'm picking the guy who is the savior, who has proven better, who has higher value, such as Isagi, who we know can bring more out of a team than Baro, just automatically, and also just has a better dynamic with Ren. And it's not that Ren and Baro don't have any dynamic, but they kind of don't have any dynamic, meaning they'd probably be fine working together. And I can definitely see a comp where maybe Isagi's benched, or Isagi's working with Ren and Baro on the field at the same time. Well, you saw that in the U20 match, but I just don't think Baro as a starter works either, because once again, if we go back to his U20 match role, it was as sort of the Joker wildcard. Of course, what I think his new role will be is not just like a Joker, but like a false king, essentially, where he will be on the pitch and he'll actually work to take over the team alongside who's ever leading at the time. If that's Isagi on the pitch with him, it's going to be him and Isagi fighting over the team, but ultimately making the team stronger through conflict. Same thing with him and Ren if they're both on the team. Stronger through conflict, or the thing is, Ren could end up playing the role Baro used to play by going full destroyer mode and just wilding out on his own, and then Baro comes in, takes the pieces of the team that's all disorganized and centers them around him and then goes crazy. So don't get me wrong, Baro fans, I'm not saying that your guy is suddenly fodder or less useful than everyone else who's on the pitch. Obviously, Baro's a stronger player than Nico, than Ryu, than arguably Aiku, than Hiyori, than Bacho. Like we're not saying any of that. At least I'm not. I know some people are saying it solely for the sake of agenda. I know a friend of mine who's extra mad that Baro's not on the pitch. But outside of that, I'm not saying that Baro not being on the pitch suddenly makes him fodder. I'm saying organically and team chemistry wise, it makes sense why he's on the bench and is being saved for a particular role. Same thing for Shido. Everyone else being benched though kind of makes sense. I'm not sure what Yukimiya would bring to this comp. I feel like arguably you wouldn't want another speedster. I'd say considering you have 4, you have my son, my baby boy Corona, you have Yukimiya, you have Zantetsu, you have Chigiri. I mean, it's not, like, I'd say it's not really insane to have another speedster on the field. Like, maybe, especially if Fiori's not going to be a midfielder, maybe sub him out for, like, a Zantetsu or Corona or somebody. Like, please. But I think this is me and my love of speedsters. I can definitely see the reason you want to, like, separate those out, considering their only weakness is stamina. You maybe want to be able to freshly rotate them in and out. But Chigiri's the strongest speedster. Makes sense why he got over in Yukimiya over Zantetsu, over my baby boy, my beloved son, Corona. And who else? Obviously Fukaku's a goalie, so that doesn't really matter. I already disqualified the 3 speedsters. Who else am I missing? Nanase, kind of, now with Rayos being a starter, Nanase is truly kind of like a fill pick who can just go anywhere, even though he doesn't really have that same utility. Same thing with Otoya. Otoya can definitely be a good replacement for a midfielder or one of the backs, but I could see both backs as being stronger than Otoya right now, so it makes sense why he's out on the pitch. Who else am I thinking of? Who else am I missing? I'm at 6 right now. 6 plus 11 is 17. I'm missing 6 players. What 6 players am I missing? Who am I missing? The players that made it. I mean, obviously, you can tell that since I clearly can't remember them, must not be that important. I'm trying to, like, mentally play ball and trying to remember. Who's on Manshine? Everyone who's on Manshine. Nagi doesn't count because he's not in the 23. Who am I missing? Oh, Kiora. Once again, sort of kind of like a fill role. I could definitely see him replacing one of the midfielders, one of the backs, depending on the motion. So that's 7. Who else was on BM? Raichi. I'm actually kind of shocked Raichi is in the starting lineup. I definitely think you may want to use Raichi as like a supplement to Nico, or like a replacement for Nico though. So maybe you want to start with a really strong analytical defensive line with relatively balanced stats, and then if you need like a stamina monster to lock down a certain person, then you bring in Raichi. Like he's benched. Let's see, that's 8. 8 plus 11 is 19. Who else do I need to justify not being on the pitch? Who else am I missing? I'm trying to remember this off the top of the dome. Oh, Kunigami. Once again, sort of a fill role striker. Like you have so many other strikers who are better specialized at doing things that, unfortunately, you kind of just don't need Kunigami right now, but he's good to have as a backup. And he can be used as a defender too, depending on if there's a crazy striker that needs to be locked down. Let's see. The 3 speedsters. Fukaku. Who am I missing? I already covered Shido and Baro, but I think I included them. Do I just look at the top 23? I think, because I'm kind of like burning too much time. Let me see. Top 23 of Blue Lock. Top 23 Blue Lock players. Who am I missing? Oh, Sendo. Once again, very situational. Makes sense why he's not on. Okay, nope. So this is why I hate the immediate AI response, because it's just wrong. Because it said, what's his name was there? It said Tokimitsu was there. But Kyora, Nanase already covered that. Krona, Raichi, Zentetsu, Sendo, Hiyori, Nico, Yukimiya, Ryu, Kagamaru, Karasu, Aiku, Otoya, Kunigami, Reo, Chigiri, Bacho, Bara. Oh, so I did cover everyone. Okay. But, that being the case, I think this comp does make sense. The only thing I'm questioning in the comp is Hiyori's placement. But then again, I don't know soccer well enough. If someone can explain why Hiyori is where he is and not one of the midfielders, please let me know. I don't know. I just don't get it. But and maybe right back is more midfielder than I think. I don't know. But please let me know, because that's the only one I don't understand. But everything else makes sense, and who's on the bench also makes sense. Tell your boy, though. I get why people are triggered. Listen. I'm the center of the world. Oh. Okay, Nagi. My ego's true identity. It's that pleasure of feeling like a god. And you know what the funny thing is? A title for Nagi that kind of I feel like existed earlier on in the manga, but got lost for like the Lazy Genius, or got entirely consumed by Lazy Genius, was the God of the Field. I feel like that was something said in narrative, and then he was called it a couple times out of narrative by the fandom, but then like that got dropped for Lazy Genius. Everyone just started calling him the Lazy Genius because the role he started filling. Or not really started filling, but it was just used more. But that is an interesting way to tie it back to the idea. Nagi doesn't care about soccer specifically. He doesn't care about Isagi or Blue Lock or anything like that, or Ryo anymore. It's simply he's chasing that euphoria, that feeling of divinity that can only come from when he's challenged at the highest level. Before that highest level is Blue Lock, now it's the world stage. He's chasing that. And as a person who definitely loves a good challenge, I respect that now. Yeah, I respect it. You know ball now. You know ball. If it's for that. Hey, Chairman-san. My seat's still open? I can lose everything else. I could even destroy Blue Lock. Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, you won't. You won't. But yeah, buddy! Yeah! Look at Bodhisutta. He's like, yeah! he's that Sonic meme to the extreme, like, but it's the you feed, but I get it. Look who's back again. Death is back. Tell him, Ren. Guess who's back? 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 I want to be the world's best. That's okay. Nagi Sashiro-sama, I need to slide you back up, dog. Well, once again, it really all depends. He's not my number one again, but with this writing, with this little miniature art, with his fall from grace into Eagles League, with the context of it now, with time being progressed, and you read it and enjoy it all the better, Nagi, I may have to throw your behind right back up in the top 5. At a minimum, maybe top 3 on a good day. I really like Kaiser and Isagi. You have a hard time beating that. But, welcome back. Welcome back, Mr. Seshiro. I missed you, man. Let's see. Bodhisutta cheesing. Good day to you, my peoples. And now for the U20 World Cup opening match is about to begin. It is Japan versus Nigeria. Let's get crazy. Blue Loco. They're gonna lose. Nigeria, no. Please, Nigeria, put up a good fight. Put up a good fight. Why they look so clean? Oh, okay, that guy looks a little rough. And so does this guy. Why do they look like this? Why no more? Okay, that guy looks clean, though. Ooh, who's this in the background? Who's a Shido copy? But, okay. We got Nigerian Yukimiya. This guy looks interesting. He does actually look like, ironically enough, he actually reminds me of Isagi because of the eye shape. Even like the general, like, especially seeing these two right next to each other. This actually kind of looks like a Nigerian Isagi with buns in the hair. I mean, I think this design just unnerves me. I think it's the eyes. Really, and that's so far, the major fumbles I feel like the more it's had is maybe with like the eyes on the darker skinned or black characters. Like, I think maybe if you tone down, I mean, Dada's fine. I think I was just rough on Dada. I think the main like person of color, the darker skinned individual, I'm like, really, the more it's on, or is Ryu. Like, why does he not have eyes? Like, why does he just have circles? That has bothered me ever since, not Ryu, Agi. Mad Doctor. Ever since he was introduced, I was like, why does he just not have eyes? No more. Why would you do that? So honestly, give this guy some normal eyes, and even fix this guy's eyes. I mean, maybe he is just like going wide eye on purpose though. Maybe he'll look a little bit better. But I do like look at this squad. Ooh, and I like the black ball. That goes crazy. Is that exclusive to Nigeria? What is this? The U20 Nigeria 11. And for those wondering, yes, I am Nigerian. Yes, I do have a technically. I'd say it's more West African than specifically Nigerian, mainly because my dad, who is the source of my Nigerian ancestry, his accent is watered down, and my accent is based on his and some of my uncles who haven't have watered down accents. My accent's somewhere in between all that. I will be attempting to vary it for all these characters, because when am I going to see Nigeria again in Blue Lock? When am I going to see any series that I review have Nigerians? I'm sorry. I'm biased. I know they're going to lose. Yeah, I know. It's law. It's law. It's law. But I gotta glaze them while I can. Look at them. I wonder where they're from. I wonder what states in Nigeria they're from. Let's see. Time to be the world's best. Okay, Isagi. I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie to you. Nagi actually got me a little bit more hyped. Maybe because his ego's popping off more. U20 World Cup. First match begin. Kickoff. And that's the end of the chapter. A W chapter. Like an insanely W chapter. Revealing the 11 in the way that they did. Not even showing us the bench, which I do think is kind of funny. maybe that's why. Because the one reason I know is not just because I saw like a panel, but and notably, you know what funny enough, the panel I saw was this one. Where is it? This panel. I saw the Batra panel, so I knew Nagi was gonna be in this chapter. I knew Batra was in this chapter, but obviously Batra was gonna be. But a friend of mine who's a huge Borrow fan, they were like, "No!" I was on call with them when the leaks came out. And I was like, wait, don't say anymore. I was like, I haven't reviewed. You can talk about it after I leave, and I left. But no, they would only react that way if Bar was benched. And then I found out later that Shida was benched. So that's how I do those two things. And I saw the Batra panel. So those are like the three things I knew. But outside of that, just an insanely W chapter. Even if it is truly just the introduction, it is Nagi's proper reintroduction, his rebirth, if you will, his birth by sleep. But his birth by sleep is fantastic. The reveal of the Japan 11 is fantastic. And even if Nigeria didn't get too much of a spotlight, they got like one spread. Hey, I'll take the spread. Obviously, we're going to be following them for this entire match. Now, obviously, the main question now is, how long is this match going to be? Is it going to be like Neo Aegis League match length, which typically came out to about 40-ish chapters? If so, I am down. But with that being the case, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to this video, please leave sleep by birth, because I'm pretty sure I've used birth by sleep as a password before, because no doubt I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. But leave sleep by birth in the comment section down below. I did thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure that notifications so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also you can have a Patreon down below, where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Things like exclusive videos, content, and more. How actually my hands doing? Also, go member channel for those videos, to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include the live reactions, the other series I have to review, add variations of all my videos, and if you become a $12 Patreon or $12 member, you can order every video you want. Also the link to my Ko-Fi description down below. You can drop 5 minutes to a short video, 200 beans long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. I would like to give a thank you to our sketch tier members: Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Super Flame Zero, Glacier, XZ, Zera, Brendan Payne, J2MA, Guillaume, Buddha Uda, Alex Kenny, Yuki Ally, Enzo, Nevis 97, Zachary Wilson, Azo 2404, Planet Crone, Rye Rich, G Prosper, Swift Strike, Alexicon, Striker Man, and Autumn Mornings Lazo. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our line art patrons: Sean, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin, Encarnacion, Dread Zoan, and A+A. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our Ink tier members: Austin Wimberly, Euchia, and Shrimpo the Shrimp. Then, I'd like to give a thank you to our digital art tier members: J Warrior and AZ Void. And I'd like to give a thank you to our colored art tier patrons: Joaquin Munoz and Joaquin Munoz. And a final thank you to our ultimate, that guy with a pencil tier patron, Calvin's wife. Not Calvin Elder, who ultimately does have one of my kidneys, but now I must know, and I must undergo the process of getting this second one removed, so I can send the other over to this wonderful family.